everybody, I'm Ashley Graham, and this is Pretty Big Deal, where confidence is key. Every episode, I get to pick the brains of brilliant, inspiring, honest, new and old friends who are a pretty big deal. Today, we are talking to the hilarious Meghan Trainor. Meghan is a master songwriter and radio darling who also happens to be as sweet as pie. In this episode, we talk about music, body, marriage, and so much more. Meghan Trainor! We have Meghan Trainor on Pretty Big Deal!
I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, congratulations about genetics.
Thank you. Yes, I dropped a song. I totally forgot it was coming out last night too.
You did?
Yeah, because we just approved like single artwork. I didn't have anything prepared, and I was like, guys, we really dropped the ball on this, huh? Like, I don't have much to post, so today I'm gonna try to brag about it. And
no, but I kind of love that when artists are like a little bit, you know, they don't really like go in and be like, here's my music, here's my music, here's my music.
They shove it down your throat.
You just put a story up and it was like in so many hours. Or
Oh
by
yeah,
midnight.
I was like, my whole team worked on that caption. We were like, what do we say? We're like midnight, and then the DNA emoji.
Isn't it insane what goes into a post?
All of my posts.
I know.
People have no idea. It takes a city of us. And I'm like, did I spell it right? Is this cool? And then we'll delete it and we're all questioning ourselves.
I know.
It's stressful.
Oh, social
Your captions
media.
are always great.
I will say that I just like to keep it like real.
Yeah.
And then when I want to explain something, then I go to like my girl and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, did I explain it
Do I sound
properly?
smart? Yeah,
Did
yeah,
I
yeah.
use the right commas?
Yeah.
That's the worst. Is
That's
the
everything.
punctuation. So we just got to see each other at Fashion Week.
Yeah, my first fashion week.
Oh my gosh, this was your first Fashion
ever.
Week?
Yeah.
What?
I'm growing
How is
up.
that possible?
I don't know, man. I never did them. I always remember hearing about them and remembering like when I was in New York, I'm like, oh, traffic's crazy because Fashion Week. But I didn't get to learn a lot about it, and I didn't have opportunities. And this year I made a point with my stylist, Haley, to make sure I went in and met my favorite designers, and then luckily in those meetings, they invited me to their shows. And Christian was like the first meeting I
Christian
had.
Siriano.
Oh, Christian
I love
Siriano.
him.
He's the best, and like the best at my curves, man.
Right?
Like if you look at all my pictures from Fashion Week, I look bomb, but I can't stop getting over that picture of his outfit on me.
That's the black crop top?
Yeah, it was like the crop top. I love a poofy shoulder, and like my midsection was showing, which is like y'all's, and
you had like your little abs on top.
dude, my little pretend abs. Yeah, I'm like, but everyone like Jennifer Coolidge were coming. The coolest women of all time were coming up to me, and they were like, "Whoa, I can't pull that off." And I was like, "But you can."
Yeah.
In Christian's clothes, you
Hell
know.
yeah. Oh no, that lineup, that front row was everything.
Oh my God.
I know.
It was the coolest. Yeah, that was
And
the best.
he-
and the
he's-
party. They're like, is Ashley coming? I was like, guys, she's pregnant. She's not coming. And
Oh my
and
God.
we were partying.
I mean, I'm the worst. I'm like not really a party girl.
Me either.
And yeah.
That was my first club in 4 years.
Wow.
Bro, I got married and was like, good night, everybody. It's
That's
9
what
p.m.
happens. That's what happens.
I don't want to go, but I actually had a lot of fun.
I just want to know, like, what is it? What from the beginning? You were singing in church, which
Oh, yeah. Wow,
hello.
you did research.
But hello, church girl here too.
Oh.
yes. What kind of church did you grow up in?
A Methodist one?
A Methodist. You're like
It's kind of
Methodist?
boring. I don't know.
go
I've been going to Sunday service at Kanye West's, like,
You have?
girl.
Wait a second.
I'm in the front row at Sunday service,
Meghan.
and it's popping.
I want to come.
You can come with
so
me
bad. Oh, I
whenever you
can?
want. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, like, I know people. Like, my manager grew up with the Kardashians, so like that's my in. Totally, that's the only in I'm in. Like, that's it.
Wait, my friend told me that it was one of the most, and he sings in church. He goes on tour, but he said it was one of the most emotional
Oh yeah.
choirs moments that he's had, and people were crying, and you're really praising.
And it's like no one's. I just love it because I haven't gone to church since when I grew up in that church, and church was like, not to offend anyone at my church, but like boring and like kind of creepy and dark, and I was like tired, and my dad was like the only fun part because he was playing the organ, and he's like, "Good morning, everyone," and I would sing with him, and that was like the best. And now this church, like, or not church, it's a Sunday service, and they don't like shove anything down your face. They're like, just appreciate life, appreciate what we have. They sing a song that's like, we have everything we need. And I just grab my family and we start crying and we're like, we have everything we need. And I wrote them a letter, Kanye's manager, of like, I've never felt more welcomed. I've never felt happier. I've never felt like so spiritual and so happy with my family. Like, this brings us together every week. And it makes my family closer. And it's like the coolest thing we've ever done.
So I'll be in LA in a few weeks.
Okay.
And I'll call you.
Come with me. We got to do it.
But I want to know what it was like going from singing in church to 2016 and you're winning the Grammy for Best New Artist. Like, what happened there?
Oh, I jumped.
Yes.
I was singing on the beach on Nantucket for like people who were eating dinner that were like, nah. Like, and I had this one little fan named Bobby, and I just did the Today Show, and he was there. He like showed up, like he's still my number one fan that comes to my shows, and he's like, so it's
Have
crazy.
You invited him backstage?
Oh yeah, we were chilling all morning, but that's my Bobby. He's from Nantucket. He's great, but it's crazy that like it felt like in 1 week I went from singing for a restaurant of people who weren't looking to an arena in Boston, like my arena, the Boston Garden, for a Jingle Ball. And I was in front of 20,000 people, which is more than the island that I came from. Like, that's more people than the island that I came from, the population. So it was all like, what's happening? Like, and we're still, my brother's with me, my mom's with me, we're still pinching ourselves like, how are we here? Like, this is the coolest thing ever that you're interviewing me right now.
Oh.
And that, like, we're still like, my mom's like, I can't believe this is happening. It's great.
You were writing songs?
Yeah.
You were writing music?
Yeah.
And what made you want to go from writing to, hey, I'm out here.
Well,
this is me.
I always
Welcome.
wanted to, and I always felt the fire in me. And my dad said never, I don't know how he said it, but it was like, don't have to rely on people to make your dreams come true. So I started learning production, and I was producing these albums in my room and like a little beast, and no one's ever seen like a 16-year-old girl doing that at the time. And so I would walk into sessions like as a freak. They were like, oh, you're scary. And I'd be like, can you move over so I can finish the song? And
this is when you were like 16, 17?
Yeah, 16, 17. I was like officially signed by a country publicist. And I was
country?
Yeah, random. Because I did these songwriting conventions, like you submit your songs and then people judge you.
Okay.
And you hopefully get signed at one of these places. And my second year I got signed. I was like,
Wow.
I made it. I'm not going to college. Like, that was I win. And so they would send me to LA weeks at a time, and I would write with all these random strangers. And I kept writing and writing, and eventually I wrote All About That Bass. And 9 months after writing that song, like, it was floating out and nobody cut it. No one could cut it because it's so specific. And then L.A. Reid heard it at Epic Records and was like, well, who's singing the song? Just go get her. And then they met me, and I had like a backwards hat on. I was like, hello, Meghan Trainor. I'm a little songwriter. I don't know. And I've just been holding on for dear life ever since.
I'm all about that bass. That bass.
Like
no trouble.
My audition for my record deal was me with a ukulele. Like, the night before, I was like, I only have a uke. I don't do tracks. I don't know. And they're like, that's fine.
They
and
loved
I
it.
Went in, was like, I'm a songwriter, and played it on the ukulele. And they were like, yeah. Well, L.A. Reid. Everyone else was like, what is this?
But LA got into it.
LA was like, shoo, up, up, shoo. And I was like, okay, he likes it. That's fine.
Was this a dream?
Yeah.
This was a dream.
And people warned me. They're like, heads up, he's going to bring in a lot of people in the audition room. And he didn't. He brought in like 12 people. And I said, is this it? And he goes, oh, you want a show? He's like, hold up. And then he brings in 40 people. And I was like, shut your mouth, Megan. What are you doing?
You're like, shut up, little girl.
Shut up, you little girl. Like, then I was like, gulp, here we go. And
Did you write that song in the expectation, knowing that it was going to be this huge body positive change?
like, all I remember is when I wrote it with Kevin Kadish, who's like a dad. He's like, like, I just met this guy. It's like a blind date every time you write a song with, you're making magic with a stranger.
Right.
So I was like, nice to meet you. What's up? And I was like, we both grew up chubby. And I was like, okay, we can relate about that. Aww. And we were just laughing while writing the song. Like, no one's going to hear it. No one's going to be willing to cut it. And I was like, screw it, I'll sing it. And I went in there and put on this sassy soulfulness that I grew up like loving.
Which is also Meghan Trainor.
But now it's
Yes.
like now it's everyone's like, oh, Meghan Trainor, which is crazy. But yeah, I sang it. He put no autotune on it. It was very raw. We left like, you like it? I like it. Okay. And that was that.
That's amazing that you can just like walk into a studio, not know somebody, have a connection, and then boom.
45 minutes later.
I mean,
that's it.
This is what put you on the map.
Yeah.
Did you know that you were going to be this kind of like this darling for America about body confidence? I mean, seriously, because I think there's so many young girls who looked up to you and said, "Oh, she's got a bass." And we're not talking about the we're talking about you got junk in the trunk.
I got it from my mama.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't even know that until I was like like people were taking pictures of me everywhere. I was like, well, damn. Like,
you didn't know you had body yaddy?
I didn't know I had curve. Like my waist goes in, thank the Lord. And it's like shaped right. It's like all the right junk in all the right places. I was like, no, I had no idea any of this was going to happen. I didn't know. When it first started blowing up, I got a lot of hate first.
Right.
Of like the
you got a lot of
bitches
backlash.
Line.
What was that like?
Scary. I was
is.
Oh no. I
didn't mean it.
I didn't want this. I wanted maybe like I got 20,000 views on the video and I was like, that's cool. And if I get dropped, great. At least I did it and I tried. And I was like pumped that I just signed a record deal. So when it blew up, I was like, uh-oh, hold on. Like, what's going to happen now? And then I've just been like literally running with it, like holding on for dear life. Like, we're still here.
Have you had trouble with your body ever? Or have you always just been confident?
I mean, no.
Well, because you just said like you came out and you were like, oh, I didn't know I was so curvy.
Yeah, I always grew up on the chubbier side. Like my brothers and we all did. And then my older brother just shot up in 6th grade and became
and now he's like a string bean.
Perfect. Yeah, and now like everyone's like, ooh, hot brother. Like that's what I'm known for now. Sometimes at the Christian show, they're like, who's the hot brother?
Oh, you had him there?
Oh, yeah.
Dang, I missed him.
Oh yeah.
You can DM him to me.
Yeah. But,
I like a hot man.
Yeah, he cute. But
Justin
I'm his
understands.
wingman. Yeah, he'll get it.
Yeah.
No, I wrote that song like I wish I was hearing stuff like this on the radio. And like I knew I thought it would never work because that people don't sing about that stuff. People are just hot and like pop stars are hot and beautiful. And I was like, well, I'll never look as good as Rihanna, you know? I'll never, no matter how. I always told my dad, like, don't worry, because I'll be 26 and I'll be the biggest songwriter, and then I'll figure out how to fix my body and lose weight and look like a pop star, and then I'll do it. And so for the fact that L.A. Reid was like, you look perfect and you are perfect and this song is perfect, I was like, I am? And then like I started learning that years and years of singing this song to people and seeing their reactions and hearing their stories. I was like, me too. Like it was
amazing.
my therapy.
I just got chills because to have somebody tell you that you're perfect when for so long we've had to fit into society, into the norm, and here you are, you're like, I am me. Has it been difficult for you having the backlash of the skinny girl comment? You know, and there's so many comments like this in music now because you just want to be yourself. But do you feel pressure now writing, thinking about those comments? Or do you just say like, you know what, this is me and I am who I am?
Yeah, I'm so sensitive, dude. I'm so soft. Anytime like people freak out on Twitter, I crawl in a hole. And I used to not be on Twitter. Like I used to have my mom tweet for me or help me out. And like recently I've been going on it and like really engaging with my fans.
Twitter gives me anxiety.
And then I went into dark holes and was like, how do people deal with this? How do people survive this? People are really strong. And I always put on this strong look of like, no one can hurt me. But oh my God, comments hurt. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I think I am. I mean, even in interviews, I'm like, don't say anything, you know?
Right.
Like,
it makes you
you'll
just
get
a little
ripped
bit more
apart,
cautious.
or yeah, and especially songwriting. I'm like, I want to help everyone, and I don't want to upset anyone. And that's like, if I'm reaching all these people, that's what I want in the first place. So I'm thinking extra hard about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. I understand that sentiment.
Yeah.
When I think about Photoshop, I think about I mean, you know where I'm going with this, but I
Get it,
have
girl.
been on the other side of a photo where they take out all my cellulite, they retouch my
Really?
waist, they narrow my face,
What do you look at? What do you think?
I think it's ridiculous. I hate it.
And you have no say.
There are
You
so
have
many
no
times
say.
where I've been on set and I'm like, hey, do you see that dimple? Do not take it out.
Really?
I say it to
do
the
that too,
photographer.
yeah.
Because you know what? Like, we can't have these conversations of love who you are.
And then our faces on the cover of a magazine. And we're like,
Exactly. So what happened with your music video, Me Too?
so frustrating. Nobody believes me too. It sucks.
So you didn't approve the video before it came out?
I approved a video. It wasn't that. I was on the road, so I was in buses and I was like traveling, looking at this video, but I made sure like I screen like because the fans nowadays they screenshot it and they
Everything.
so I go by literally every single clip, a 3-minute video, just that's okay, that's okay, that's okay. And I have screenshots on my computer. My whole family watched it. I was even like concerned about my dress, like you could see my pin in the back or something, and I was like, let's zoom in on that and make sure that's good. When that video was online, the first 5 seconds, I was like, why are the fans photoshopping me? Because they were posting reshots of the video. I was like, why are they messing with my waist so hard? And then I looked at the video and I was like, oh God, it is my video.
You could see it right away.
Oh, instantly. And my family was like, that's a joke. Like, that's harder than like Nicki Minaj's actual body. Like, it wasn't human.
What did you do? What was your first reaction?
I screamed. I freaked out. That was the first time and the last time I went right to social media. I went to Snapchat and was like, well, guys, guess my team messed it up. So I'm going to take it down. And my manager at the time, Troy Carter, ripped it down. Like, he was like, this is impossible, but I'm going to do it. And he ripped it down for me. And when they fixed it, and I was like, I put it back up. And I'm in my hotel room doing glam, getting ready for like the Today Show. And on the news, like Good Morning America is like, new music video by Meghan Trainor, apparently photoshopped, and she's upset. And what I just Snapchatted is on the television, on the news.
Thank God you had Snapchatted.
And I was like, right? I was like, okay, this is a good thing. I had people messaging me like, hey, don't do that. Don't speak out about it. You're going to hurt people's feelings, like the editors and the directors.
The editor did it to you.
Yeah.
Without asking
I found
you.
out the editor was like in a different country, like in a different time zone. And they're like, it's going to take a day to fix it. And I was like, you guys suck. Like, this whole experience sucks.
At the end of this, after making all the phone calls you had to make and doing the Snapchat and all the press, how did you...
everyone to me? Like, I am the no Photoshop girl. Like, this is who we're going to do it to.
How did you feel? I mean, like, how...
Oh, so sad.
Yeah.
So embarrassed. Embarrassed is the best word. Just like, because... I'm telling everyone, I approved this. My family approved this. And I would have seen that in 5 seconds. And it was the whole video. And I was just so mortified that I had to deal with it.
But now here you are. You can talk about it.
Yeah, now I'm like, I don't care if you believe me. That's what happened. Like,
well, you hear it now, like, I believe you.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
because
you
I've
do.
been on that other
Just-
side of it.
Yeah.
If you're listening,
Meghan
Trainor's
it wasn't a
telling the truth.
stunt.
What I
But now
love
it's
is
so
how
funny because
transparent
you
you are. Your social media is just, it's so fun.
Thank
You
you.
tag Spanx.
Oh, I love Spanx. I'm wearing them right now. like,
Yes!
under here.
She's wearing Spanx
Is that-
just over her knees. She's
Just
got like
'cause,
this
like-
long silky, are those pants or it's a skirt?
This is a skirt, but
And she
I
has
was
like a Givenchy
I was
sweater
at
on.
the Empire State Building, and it was windy.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't want to wear them. I'm good. And then they're like, you should wear these. And I had my Marilyn Monroe moment 100 times. I was like, oh. So
Do they go up
Spanx
and
came
do
in.
you pull them up under your bra?
yeah, I had that this morning.
Yes. Do you do the over the
Depends on
shoulder or
Yeah, the strap.
See, I hate the over the shoulder.
Really?
I tuck it under my bra.
Okay, I was gonna say, but then I get like muffin top right here if it doesn't go up.
I embrace the muffin top. No, you don't leave it here. You tuck it under.
And your bra just
in.
holds it?
Yes. Your bra holds it. But you have to have your stylist pull it from the back. Like, here's the bra,
Okay,
pull the
okay.
Spanx.
Okay.
Okay. I'll show
And
everybody
that's
on my...
like,
No, it
are
stays.
you dancing? Or like, what?
No, I'm not dancing like
I'm
Meghan
sweaty.
Trainor. I'm not
You know what I'm
dancing.
saying?
No.
Yeah.
So there's no rules for dressing your body.
rules for dressing me. Actually, sure.
What
I
are
guess.
they?
I'm scared of jeans. I
Are you?
hate jeans.
That's so funny.
But I'll rock them if they're like the boyfriend or whatever they're called, like the big,
Oh, baggy.
baggy, yeah.
Mhm.
And I've rocked them like tight. But my problem is I can't wear jeans, and sit down. Like
I know.
It just
roll.
hurts me, my stomach. Like it hurts and it leaves a red line. And if I wear it, like I don't like this area. What rated are we?
No, we are X-rated.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Okay, my vagina area.
Yeah.
I don't want
the fupa.
The fupa. I don't want details of
Yes.
that showing.
I understand.
So if you see my outfits, I'm like, let this
We will
flow.
never see Meghan Trainor's fupa.
You will never see a camel toe on me ever. Ever. Because I won't let it happen. I won't.
Does Daryl like your fupa?
Loves. He worships my body more than I thought any person could.
Okay, when I was...
It's aggressive.
What I love is that you said, by the way, everybody, Daryl's her husband. And
Daryl's
they're
my
so
hubby.
freaking cute
He's
together.
like here downstairs somewhere.
Oh my God, he's so cute.
He's the greatest.
I have someone on my team that was like, oh, he's in an iconic film. Spy Kids!
Yeah!
Which I feel like I have to watch now because
Oh
she
my
called
God.
it iconic.
You just watch the first one.
Okay.
And because he's 6 years old, like a baby, and he's the cutest little thing.
Oh my God.
And I want to have 1,000 babies with him.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
How is it?
The first trimester sucks. I'm in the second, and I'm kind of into it. Like,
people
you don't have to
love it.
suck in.
Yeah, you don't.
You know what I mean?
Like when I get really bloated or eat a lot, and I'm like, oh, I wish this was like for a life, you know? Like,
Yep,
I was
exactly.
just like, it's okay. I'm making a life right now, you know?
But I want to talk about what you were saying, because what I love that you said about Daryl was that he made you feel sexy. And this is one of the first times that you felt sexy. And I know what that feels like. When I was 20 years old, I had a new boyfriend. He was my first longtime boyfriend. And he was like, your body is like a wonderland.
Yes.
And I did not know that a man would be that obsessed with my, side butt, cellulite, like back fat.
Oh, yeah.
What did Daryl say? What did he do to you to make you just feel so comfortable with him?
It's like the little moments, like when I'm undressing to get in the shower or I'm putting clothes on and I look like I look crazy and I'm like slipping on a spank. He's like, God, I'm the luckiest man alive. Like he says these big liners that I'm like, really? And it's when I feel my ugliest too. Like it's been days without makeup and I'm just like in pajamas nonstop for days. He's like how did I marry the prettiest girl in the world? And I was like,
he loves
you're
you
just
for
saying
you.
that. He's like, dude, and he'll give me examples. He's like, your eyes, your face, your skin, like loves the tatas.
Hello.
Loves.
I know Justin's a boob man too.
Yeah.
Oh, and they get really sensitive when you're pregnant. You
Really?
Yeah, you don't want Daryl
boobs.
on them.
Yeah. I heard.
I'm like,
Done so much
I'm just like,
research.
down, Justin.
Get down. Wow.
No, I want to know, where did all of this transparency come from?
Being real?
Yeah, being real.
I don't know how else to not.
Really?
I mean, they gave me media training one day at Epic Records when I was like first starting out, and she ripped me apart, dude. She's like, I can tell you're nervous by the way you're holding your knees and and I was like, well, this is stupid. I don't want to do this ever again. And I didn't. And my team was like, you're fine. You have a good personality. Just be yourself. And so So
it was that one moment that you thought, you know what? I'm not going to just choose to not be me.
Yeah, it was like posture. All of my answers were wrong. Like they were like, how was writing your album? And I was like, well, I saw a bunch of cows and outside in the morning and smelled a lot of cow poop. So it was kind of stinky. And they were like, don't say that. I was like, what? That's what I saw. Like I peed behind the barn because I couldn't make it to the house. Like,
got it. So you're just
real country. Like
they didn't like your honesty.
They were like, ew. I was like, okay.
So I also want to talk about your surgery that you had and the vocal surgery.
2 of them.
You had 2 of them?
Bro, yeah.
What happened?
I failed. I don't know. I worked so hard for 4 years nonstop. I was on every single day doing a show, doing this. And I'm not born, my vocal cords were not born to do this gig, I think. Because some people can smoke a whole blunt and then go on stage and have an hour-long show. Mm-hmm. I can barely get through a 30-minute show. It's a real struggle, and I have to really learn okay, this is the part I sing, this is the part the crowd sings. I have to study that and really learn where I can breathe. And I was on tour, and my throat kept bleeding. And I wasn't drinking. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was getting the best sleep I could on a bus and bouncing from hotel to hotel. And I was like, I'm fine. I could keep going. And they were like, if you don't stop, you'll blow them out permanently. Like, you will do real damage. So I had to cancel entire tour, which is like disappointing everybody.
Did that make you anxious?
Oh, it was horrible. I had like bronchitis at the same time. I was on so many steroids. So you know how that feels like when you're sick nonstop. So they just pump you with steroids and you're angry, fat, and have acne riddling my face. I was like, this isn't real, right? Like just writing in my journal, like, nuh-uh.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Thank God for a journal.
Thank God for my journal.
I can't imagine going through something that's so, I mean, it's life-altering.
It's so traumatic.
It's
like,
life-altering.
I don't know how to, I just explain it or compare it to a dancer. Like, say your whole life is dancing. That's your career. That's how you survive. And then you break both legs. And you're like, uh-oh. Like, you're out. I was silent. I was silent for over 4 months with, like, a new love of my life to Daryl. I had to teach him, like, some sign language. And I had to write in a phone and was like, you can't go, you can't laugh. You can't cough.
Wow.
Like, it's some type of torture. And then I got locked in my head for too long. And then I got crazy physical crippling anxiety that I didn't, like, really understand. I didn't really comprehend, or I didn't know what people were talking about when they're like, oh, I get diarrhea and I, like, throw up. And I, like, all of a sudden I was having these physical changes to my body. Like, I'd be on fire. And I was like, oh, I have, like, something really wrong with me. And I went to the emergency room, like, twice. And they were just like, honey, this is a panic attack. And I was like, no. I was like, it's an allergic reaction.
And now you understand.
Yeah. And now I'm fully in. Now I see how, like, scary it can get and have so many doctors, like, waiting for me to take care of me and a therapist. I got a meditation girl.
Girl.
I got them
But
all.
you have to. You know, when you have the means to be able to help yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Do it.
That's why, like, treat myself is my whole new way of life now. Mm-hmm. Like, that's one of my albums is called Treat Myself because that's how I had to, like, get through it and survive it. And in it, you're like, oh, I'll never get over this. And now on the other side, you're like, oh, I figured it out.
Okay, last but not least,
Okay.
you are talking about your new song, Genetics.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
I like every person in the industry, to me, they just go, yeah, write another bass. Write another All About That Bass song, which is why this album has taken so long, because they're like, nah, it's not as good as bass, you know? And I'll never not hear that for the rest of my life.
I mean.
So I was like, okay, what's another bass song? What's another I Love My Body because this is what I'm born with? And I was like, Genetics is fire. That's a pretty cool way of saying it. And I was like, but I want to spell it like they did, like B-A-N, you know, like bananas and Fergalicious. That was like my everything.
I love Fergie.
Glamorous, like all that stuff. So I was like, how can I make one of those? And I was like, Genetics. I was like, oh. And then I was in the shower like, how you get that bod? Is it from God? Did you work real hard? No, Genetics.
Hey.
And I was like, oh my God. And I
You
had
wrote
that,
it in the shower.
Yeah. For like a week, I had that in my head. I was like, I need to get to a studio. And I worked with Justin Taranta, who's a big songwriter, and Mike Sabbath, who's this 21-year-old wizard from New York City. And he's so good. He's a producer, and he's featured on my new song that's coming out called Wave. But you're going to love it. It's
I can't wait. And the album's coming?
Singer. Album's coming, man.
Meghan
Finally.
Trainor, album coming.
3 years later, here it comes.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Thank you for being on. So the last thing that we do on Pretty Big Deal is like a lightning round.
Oh, yeah.
But like fill in the blank lightning round.
One
Okay.
worders?
Yeah, one word, sentence, whatever you want.
Okay.
I pretty much always...
Burp.
Me too.
All the time.
Oh, I hate it. Justin
hate
hates
it.
it. I feel like...
Burp. One sip of water and burping like I had 4 beers. Okay.
What's the biggest lesson you learned in the past year?
That's a big one to like just spit out.
I know.
The biggest lesson I learned in the past year? Food can make you feel better. Like if you, I mean emotionally, but also, I was so dumb, but also if you eat healthier, you like don't have stomach aches all the time.
I know. I had to cut dairy out.
Dude, I can't.
Bubble gut.
I cut out like, I'm a pescatarian or whatever now.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I need my dairy, so I suck at it.
Oh, it sucks. I know. Okay,
Anyways.
what's the biggest deal you've ever made?
like deal, like a
It
contract?
could be deal or like I made a big deal out of that or a contract or money or I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, I made
Or something was a big deal in your life.
Oh man, I suck at these.
No, you don't.
A big deal. A big deal is Daryl, I guess.
Daryl.
Daryl.
Oh my God.
My
I just
husband.
imagine him being a baby and then them being like, baby Daryl.
Baby Daryl. Dude, when I met him, I was like, I hate your name. Daryl, that's your name? I was like, this is my guy, Daryl.
Okay, last one. Okay. Because Meghan Trainor is a pretty big deal. What is a pretty big deal to you?
Whoa, hit me with these deep ones.
Hit me
man.
with your best shot.
What's a pretty big deal to me? That sounds so lame.
It's okay.
Being nice to people.
No, that's not lame. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal, man. I was like at the Today Show and I was saying hi to every person there and they just kept saying, like one dude was retiring and he pulled me over and was like, I've done this for 11 years. I've worked with every star there is. You are the most humble, the kindest, the nicest, sweetest girl that we like look forward to when you're coming in. And I was like, you're gonna make me cry.
Yeah. But
and
that's
just,
what
like,
it's all about.
Going nice gets you such a long way in life and friendships and like you learn a lot. I don't know.
I like
Give
that.
a compliment today.
That's my favorite.
it.
Be kind. Thank you, Meghan Trainor, for being on Pretty Big Deal.
Thanks for letting me do this. It's such a big deal.
Yes! All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching. And make sure to comment on Twitter and Instagram with Meghan Trainor!